So this is Malika again. This is the New Earth and Healing Part 2. So the collective needs to be healed, and in order to do that, you heal the individual. And okay. So with regards to the New Earth, so I was speaking before as when we clear our karma, both others towards us and us towards others, and resolve only to bless others and make good karma from this point on throughout our soul's journey for eternity. And I will also add my biggest nugget. When you do that and you balance yourself enough with the respect and protection and balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine, aligned with the white light in constant service to the Creator, and you learn to choose the light in every situation. Choose the white light. I choose source in the white light, and I resolve everything with divine wisdom, and I act on what the light has to say. That you can do that until it becomes second nature. And then you create a mission statement for your soul's journey, both lofty, which includes yourself and the entire cosmos, as well as the more worldly objectives. An individual, of course. And as I mentioned, for example, I choose a soul's journey of light, infinite God realization, and eternal peace, freedom and abundance and beauty for all throughout the cosmos. And you make a commitment to yourself to, in each and every moment of your soul's journey, to bless the entire cosmos and the highest. And that includes your own care, balance, happiness, and attainment. So you're taking care of yourself and claiming your own attainments and your own happiness at the same time. And for as you take care of yourself, you can take care of others and the whole entire cosmos. So if you do that and you listen to your spirit guides, as well as your own heart, and you act on it, then you manufacture hundreds of diamonds a day or thousands. You become a diamond based being, and it's exquisite. Your soul complex fills up with diamonds and diamond energy. This is a perfection level of God realization, of attainment and enlightenment. And as you transmute any darkness and any bad karma towards yourself from others, or any karmic debt that you have, you become one big diamond full of diamonds. There are other colors, other rays that you can attain, but this is what this is an enormous attainment that I can share at this time. Okay, so for the universe to evolve and for our planet to finish its ascension process, evolution at this time, to manifest in the earth, the biggest obstacle we have is there is a fake paradigm that the Antichrist, Swami Chittalasananda, and her reptilians, she conditioned her slave race, or her slave group reptilians, again, which are victims of her 500 million nuclear holocausts, and partially from blowing up the cosmos 4 or 5 times with the head of her reptilian fleet, Admiral Germain, created some very, can't even use the word archaic, but very fake, illusory paradigm that she pounded into Jesus in the physical realm. He is glorious. He is a master. In the physical realm, he's not perfect from what I've seen. In the spirit realm, he needs to push respect for the female and stewardship and leadership for the Creator more. He is glorious. He is the king. All ascended masters and gurus, most of them, are always evolving. And if not to correct or fill in, or something that has been adulterated or that they haven't realized yet, such as respect for the female, because the serpent was alive in previous times in India and inflicted her destructive paradigm on Hindu philosophy and on Hindu culture, including the caste system and lack of respect for the female, and taking the Creator out of some of the Hindu scriptures. And so that's why a lot of them, or some of them at least, need to master respect for the female and teach that the self is both Shiva and Shakti, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, as Kashmir Shaivism teaches. From the one Almighty Creator comes the two, Shiva and Shakti, and they dance in bliss and divine ecstasy and divine love with each other, and in each other. They weave the physical plane with the emanations, the rays, and they create physical reality. And it's beautiful and it's exquisite, within which the Creator can realize himself and expand his God mind. So this fake paradigm arises from that she inflicted on Jesus. She actually murdered him when his soul was created, and he split off from the Metatron, his host soul, and part of his heart complex checked out. So the point I'm making here is that she inflicted and allured a little bit, so that's a lesson on his part. But in that weakened his protection, and this is a very interesting point, because I would say from a human standpoint that we should have the ability to think, and I'm thinking out loud now. I think the problem comes, we breach our protection when we make a decision to allow ourselves to get negatively allured into a criminal path, and then we breach our protection. So I think that's what happened at the time, and that's how she was able to take him out and in that lifetime. And then the wheel of karma continues until you fix that situation and you heal it. And so the the point here and the love here is that she inflicted, not only did she murder, but she inflicted a lesser sense of him onto him. And therefore, if he had more awareness of his grandeur and the love the Creator God had for him, and the plans the Father had for him, and all the abundance of the universe, the abundance of his kingdom, and the love of his wife, and the variety of love, and wives, in a general sense, the abundance and variety, and the fullness of the heart, and the movement and flow of the Creator through all of us as He is us. And so if he had that, if he had attained that at that point, he would have told her to fuck off. This he needs to do this. This conditioning of what she's done to him for how many millions of years is one of the biggest sticks that is blocking the evolution of our planet. Because she has conditioned him in every lifetime he's had, because not to diminish anybody, because we were all equal at the same time, but because she goes after figures that have attained a lot of enlightenment, or that have a lot of responsibility, or certain responsibilities that are important, extraordinarily important at the time, to support the evolution of the cosmos. And so she has victimized him and murdered each one of us in every lifetime we've ever had. And also pitted him against me in the lack of abundance paradigm, thereby causing him to think he needs to choose this over that, and kill this to have that, and to do sacrifice this in order to have that. And also, an old translation of Satan is ego. She teaches nothing but ego for people to leave who they are and to run away from their own hearts, their own kingdoms, and their own abundance. And when you have a lot of leadership responsibility in the cosmic hierarchy, or politically, or if you take on spiritual leadership in the physical plane, you don't really have the prerogative to be so incredibly egotistical, or choose such a negative ego to inflict on everybody around you, because it is damaging the universe and people's hearts and people's lives and your own life. So this is an aspect that she has attacked and adulterated, and that he wasn't fully enlightened. And he did have the ability to listen at the time to the Creator, to his spirit guides, to his own heart, to his own soul. But he chose not to, and he was also murdered, and it was a little more difficult for him to do so because part of his heart complex checked out. And when we collectively choose to do what the Creator and the Galactics have told us, to arrest one which have lost none in the King of Swords, Black Dragon, and the Beast of the Sea, although he's an evil soul fragment of Jesus, but is really a part of him has been saved for us, most glorious part. But the part that's left is just pretty much a black hole. Needs to be adjudicated and needs to be arrested because he's responsible for 75% of the damage, and so is she, to the planet. And he's head of all terrorism on the planet, and he's a conduit between the reptilian occupation and the U.S. government. And this is not okay, and he's a double agent in the Secret Service, and he pretends to be a director, but he uses that, whatever position he has, or that position, to control the president, block him from doing what he wants to do, block him from bringing global peace, which is very easy to do, and actually cause him to be very destructive, and again continue on with this illusion of lack and unlovedness. And so it is not okay to be to inflict this type of ego and suffering onto the rest of the world, to the rest of the universe. And when it comes to inflicting suffering and damage and destruction on others, that needs to be adjudicated and contained, and blocked. No one should be allowed to be destructive and that destructive. We have a beautiful justice system on Earth that we've developed. It's very elaborate. It does need to be filled in around the world. And people need to finish anchoring respect for the female. And there's no excuse not to. Absolutely not one excuse. And even in difficult circumstances where the reptilian occupation has created a lot of poverty and a lot of lack, the more respect, the more enlightenment you have, the easier it is to deal with the situation. The Creator has always blessed us not only with a galactic presence, that we've always, at least in critical mass, been protected by the benevolent ETs. And of course we need to finish that by by clearing out the reptilian 1/3 airspace that they've developed. But we've always had graciously the blessings of Saint Germain, the master alchemist, and Jesus. At some point, however, he they need to be respected and loved, and embraced and honored, and a lot of gratitude for their abilities. And at the same time, they can each be more about the Father's work, a little bit more in the physical plane. And at least a bunch of the incarnations, I'm not going to say all of them, but it's a chunk enough of their soul complex, which is causing us a stink in the evolution of our planet. So when it comes to being criminal, generally speaking, and with regards to them, they need to be adjudicated and contained and rehabilitated and healed, and their souls and heart have their karma, negative karma, burned off, and then their souls are, when the and when appropriate, or the spirit guides, the Creator say, their souls and their hearts healed. So they're both such extraordinarily important energies to the evolution at this time, and this needs to be addressed. So Jesus needs to be disciplined, and or the some of these incarnations of the two of them need to be disciplined. That's tough love with our justice system, and also rehabilitated and forced to do the Creator's work in this area because they're so darn important. And we love them very, 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 very much, and we need them very, very much. And at the same time, the new earth is the return and reestablishment of Eden, the Garden of Eden, the original divine blueprint of the universe that the Creator made and created for all of us to enjoy and for Him to dwell and for Him to realize who He is in physicality and to dwell and frolic among us. And we get to enjoy His presence and enjoy His joy. And that is the highest experience in the universe and in one's soul's journey, is the joy of the Creator. And next, the joy of others. So the illusion is that we're not loved and that we're not cared for and we're not protected. The challenge is that collectively we need to make a change and we need to come together. And that's where we're at, folks, on the earth right now. The galactics are waiting for us patiently. And they're quite aggravated because a part of humanity has been stifled and subdued by a lot of intimidation tactics by the Black Ops, run by the Reptilian Occupation and the King of Swords, and a few Dark Illuminati members. And some of these Illuminati members are like little boys, and some of them are growing up. So while they have brilliant minds, and that's why they were the Antichrist that costed them in the first place. So everyone is loved. They were traumatized like anybody else who's been adulterated into denying the existence of the Creator and misusing knowledge. And really, truly, real knowledge is not only how to implement and how to build, but it is not knowledge unless it's done with love. And true knowledge is care and protection and preservation of the physical plane, along with compassion, empathy, and the law. So I'm kind of thinking out loud a little bit right now. If people would turn inside a little bit more, respect the female, and listen to their hearts, and that is the key and the avenue to the answers to a situation. And so collectively, we need to enforce the law. And Jesus in the physical plane needs to be adjudicated and controlled. The crime and their darkness absolutely do. It needs to be rooted out and loved and rehabilitated. There's a dark paradigm that has been inflicted on the galactic level to some of these leaders. Is very easy for Earth humans to address because we have attained original values and a lot of enlightenment of our divine nature here. And that's what we came to Earth to do, is to transmute this stupidity of the Antichrist, absurd, absolutely not even worth mentioning or acknowledging, but just for the purpose of transmuting and healing of her absolutely the most absurd crap that that comes out of her mouth. Absolutely absurd. I want you to mob each other. I want you to kill each other. I want you to destroy each other. I want you to rape each other. I want you to, God doesn't exist. You can do whatever you want. There's no such thing as accountability. There's no such thing as the law. So-and-so is not a good person. They don't have any skills. They don't have any competence. Words are much more important than actions. You can kill whoever you want, and surely everything will renew. It's about dissolution of the cosmos. It'll always come back. You should be mobbing each other and never question anything, never discern the truth in a situation or a conversation. Never question anything that I say. And commit adultery. Break the law. Steal from one another. Mutilate each other. Sacrifice, human animal sacrifice. Rape, exploit, destroy, and move on to the next one and destroy that. Everything will work out just fine. I have it all under control. Steal from your kingdom and I will give you more. Excuse me? You want me to leave my kingdom? You want me to leave my abundance? You want me to leave my beautiful wife with my beautiful wife and my beautiful family and a beautiful universe with a beautiful planet and perfect, beautiful planets? And maybe in this life or future lives, when it's time to go on to the next thing, because it's time to learn something else for each one of us. And then I go and enjoy some more variety of God's kingdom, of my kingdom. And you want me to leave my heart and to run away and steal from that which already belongs to me in abundance. And as we are all independent and independently wealthy and abundant, as well as interdependent, and as well as we share. And how glorious it is to, so we need to transmute this. And as we contemplate, we need to contemplate the truth of everything that's going on, and we need to learn to trust ourselves and to to confront each other and to remind each other, and the reptilian occupation needs to be removed. We need to decrease this darkness, and we need to decrease the illusion and increase the reality, from the grand delusion to the grand reality. Okay, so Jesus needs to be protecting the physical plane. Jesus needs to protect the physical plane. Saint Germain needs to be protecting the physical plane. Collectively, including them, we have all mothered and fathered the new age and the new earth and the peace process, the cosmic peace process. They need to realize that they are loved, that they were always loved, and that if they go back and they heal themselves on this level and look at what was going on at the time, We can look at what happened with part of Archangel Michael, who didn't take the bitch out for sexually harassing him. He should have protected himself from the sexual harassment, and instead of choosing this part of him to inflict it on others, he should have protected himself and adjudicated her and enforced the law. And same with Metatron and with Jesus and Saint Germain and others, and Lord Shiva needed to learn to enforce the law, and she inflicted a paradigm of the highest unconditional love is to allow my twin flame or spouse to do whatever they want, no matter how destructive they are. And then she and she's been perpetuating this. And interfered with, again, Shiva's meditation before he received it, the rest of the dynamics of creation. And she told him we were meant to destroy. So she has perpetuated this destruction paradigm throughout cosmic history. So that's what we came here to transmute. So we're doing it individually. And while collectively we need to overcome this, we need to enforce the law. We need to do it individually first. For that's how we realize we need to do it collectively. What I was trying to say earlier, it's both. And we need to hold space for each other to heal. So this paradigm of lack needs to be transmuted to the paradigm of abundance. And once you do that, then Lakshmi, I, Mahalakshmi, and my soul fragment, Goddess Lakshmi, can dwell in the physical plane. Adieu.